guys, Emanuelle McIntosh here at the Sakyamuni Spiritual Center in Belgium. Today we're going to continue with the second part of the Ask Eric November questions. So Eric seems to be very excited and we're just going to dive right in. Just let me get my questions here. Okay, the first question is from Vincent G from Ireland. My wife and daughter are moving to live in Japan next year. It is the plan for me to follow ASAP after them. However, I feel right now a bit overwhelmed by the challenges waiting for me as changing country all over again. Just wondering if I'll be able to make it and adapt to life and work over there. Thank you, Vincent. Eric is saying, hey, Vincent. Well, he says whether or not you feel comfortable there really depends on your perspective, on how you choose to see this move. He says you can either choose to see it as a hassle, as a burden, a challenge, and so it will be that way then, because you will create that into your reality. Or you can choose to see it as a new beginning, a chance to meet new people, a chance to learn a new culture, and a chance to reinvent yourself. He says, you know, all changes are scary, but it's the only way that we can learn and grow as a soul. So start seeing this as a new beginning, a new you, a new chance to discover the world around you. And that is how it's going to play out. So I believe that these changes that keep coming into your path are an expression of Source to push you into learning acceptance, into learning self-love, and into learning to value the world around you. So all of these changes happen for a really good reason. So see it in a very positive light and everything will work out the way that you want it to work out. Okay? So I hope that helps. The second question is from Marcia B from Mexico. Hi, Emma and Eric. My question is, I am 36 years old and really want to have babies. And I love my actual partner, but he is confused about it. Am I on the right path? Any advice? Love you, Eric. Thank you. And I love you too, Emma. Thank you, Marcia B. He said, hello, beautiful. He says, I know how bad you want to have children and you've been waiting for a little bit, he says, but I'm here to tell you that open communication to your partner about your feelings is really key in this situation. If you can connect to one another in this way, if you can open up the conversation about children, then this might be the way to discover where the confusion comes from him. You might be able to even help him with that fear that is holding him back from making such a big decision. And it is mostly fear-based. Now know that you cannot force him into seeing it your way. You can only try to understand him and help him overcome the fears that are blocking him. And ultimately, it also comes down to acceptance and understanding that nowadays, you no longer need a husband, he says, or a partner to have children. There are other ways to fulfill your dream, but the important thing here is that you always need to stay true to yourself and to what you feel and not let anyone or anything stop you. And then you will always attract your truest heart's desires. So have an open conversation with him, open communication, see what is holding him back, what he's afraid of, and see if you guys can help each other heal and then move forward in that relationship. Okay? It says, I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, my next question, number 3, is from Ed P from the UK. I have been depressed for a long while and would like to know the most effective technique for me to reprogram my subconscious beliefs to improve my emotions and life. Love and light, Eddie P. He says, hello, Eddie. He says, well, I know that it hasn't been an easy journey for you, but in order to relieve yourself from these negative, fearful thinking patterns and the emotional responses, we do need to reprogram your mind. Now, there's a few things you can try in doing so. He says, first of all, you can try hypnosis sessions, but know that you will probably need a few sessions in order for you to go deep enough to change your subconscious fingerprint, he says. Another thing I would recommend, he says, on top of the hypnosis is following mindfulness classes or visiting Thich Nhat Hanh's Plum Village Mindfulness Center in Stourbridge. It's in the West Midlands, he says, in the UK. And the last one is a more drastic approach that can really help you as well, and that is taking yourself out of your current environment and putting yourself into a new unfamiliar environment and situations so you can rediscover yourself, so you can reconnect to the new you, to the changed you. So the drastic method would be changing everything in your life and reinventing yourself in your future. But I would definitely start with hypnosis. Look into mindfulness, look into Buddhism. Those are excellent ways to get a different view of the world around you and to get a different feel of the world around you. So definitely start with that and see. It's going to take, I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to take dedication. This is going to take hard work. This is going to take stamina to continue to work on yourself, to continue to work on changing the patterns in the mind. So keep working at it. And it's about making a decision for yourself that enough is enough and it's time to change. Simple as that. Make the change, he says. Okay. Okay, my next question. Number 4, Morgan M from Texas. I would like to ask for guidance from my guardian or family on how to best help my children and any hints on how to make my son happy. If they could help me or lend me strength on my path, it would be a blessing. Okay. He's saying, hello, Morgan. Well, the first step in improving not only the relationship with your girl and boy, but also the relationship with yourself is acceptance. Acceptance that God, that source, is not giving you anything that you didn't choose for yourself in this life. And I know that might be hard to understand, but we all choose our contract before we are born. And for you, this is a lesson of unconditional love for yourself and for others. It is a lesson of acceptance and a lesson of self-sacrifice. Understanding that lesson, owning that lesson, will help you find peace in your current situation. Okay? Secondly, you need to understand that your children, and especially your son, are not experiencing the world, the reality around them in the same way that you are. So try and see it from their perspective. Try and change your perspective and stop trying to make them fit into a mold that you believe is the right one. So it's all about guiding the children, supporting the children, discovering what their strengths are, who they are, how they see this world, and then being able to apply that for their benefit in the way that you raise them. So you need to approach them on their own level. You cannot expect the kids to follow you in your thought pattern because they just don't see the world in that way. They just don't experience it in that way. So try to understand each other. trying to get into their mindset and use their strength that they have, because we all have certain strengths, use them to motivate them, to push them into a direction that will be beneficial for all of you as a family, but also for their development and their future reality, their future lives. So it's all about just changing your perspective on things, acceptance and unconditional love. That's what it's going to come up to, Morgan. Okay? I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, my next question is number 5, Christine T from New York. Much gratitude and love to you all. I took a couple of classes, as Eric told me, to enhance psychic abilities. Can you tell me what's my strong side and how to pursue it? Thank you, Chris. He says, hey, Christine. He says, well, your strongest psychic ability is your feelings, is your intuition. You are what they call a clairsentient. And so in order to be able to translate emotions and feelings into messages, you first of all need to learn to trust yourself. And you need to learn to trust your spiritual team 100%. And you will need to learn to identify the unique vibrational frequencies, the signatures of the different energies. So it's about teaching yourself what certain emotions feel like energetically. It is about finding the individual fingerprint of every emotion, every item. He says, let me explain it this way. Everything has a certain energy frequency, and it is your gift to pick up on those frequencies. But now you just need to learn to translate them. Now you just need to learn to figure out what feels like what, so you can then put the messages together. Okay, so it's about trust. It's about a lot of practice and love, he says. Mostly self-love, and making sure that you do everything that you do with the right intentions. Those are going to be your points of attention. Okay, hope that helps, Christine. Okay, so my next question is number 6, Tiffany M from Texas. Hi, this is Tiffany. Does he or my loved ones have any advice for me on how to be better on my soul's journey? If I'm even on the right path, or should I be concentrating more on a different aspect of my life? He's saying, hey, Tiffany, well, you have chosen a journey of self-discovery, self-love, and self-achievement, and it's your desire to learn and experience how to follow your heart and not your head, not your mind. So my advice for you is you need to trust yourself and your feelings more, and you need to find and believe in your unique artistic abilities. You're here to be creative and to use and express your inner truths in a creative way. But you allow the fear of failure and the fear of being judged to affect your decision making. So believe in yourself, love yourself, and trust your own instincts 100%. And this will all lead you to abundance. It will lead you to peace, and it will lead you to success. So you need to also relieve the fears of failing, the fears of not being good enough, and the fear of the unknown. If you can do all of that, then success is the only way to go. Success is the only thing to achieve. Okay, so I hope that helps. Okay, my next question is question 7. Birgit, I don't remember. M from Austria. Hello, Eric and Emanuelle. How can it be that I'm still so insecure when I am out in the world without someone who accompanies me, and what can I do to overcome this? Love, Bridget. He's saying hello again. He says, well, as I mentioned in the October Ask Eric video, it's about changing your perspective of your current situation. I'm going to have to give you some tough love here, but you, and only you, are in control of your thoughts, your emotions, your fears, and your actions. And the first step into healing is acknowledging that and taking responsibility for your current situation. He says step 2 is working on reprogramming your mind. And for you, I definitely recommend doing mindfulness therapy in classes. They will help you to calm down in times of panic, because you do get those panic attacks. They will help you to take back the control of your decision-making process instead of your emotional reactions and your fears controlling your actions and your decisions. And so basically, you'll take back control of your life. And when that happens, the next step will then be finding peace and balance again with yourself. So you become the pilot of your life instead of the fears taking over control. As long as you're staying in a vibration of trying to live or to cope with these limitations and fears, you will always kind of stay in that vibration. You will always be trying to just kind of deal with it instead of overcoming it. So you need to learn how to overcome and eliminate them once and for all, so you can live a life of freedom and enlightening surprises. So how do we break you from these changes? How do we break you from these fears that you've created for yourself? Well, unfortunately, the only way to do so is with the power of your mind. So work on gaining back control of your mindset. Work on finding ways to bring calmness and peace into your actions, and find a way to refocus your mind whenever panic attacks come into your mind. So go into mindfulness classes. You need to have someone to guide you. You need someone who will be there every step of the way, take you into your daily routine, and help you as these fears start to bubble up, as they come forward, on how to neutralize the fear and turn them into positivity and turn them into courage to keep going. Okay? So I hope that helps. Let's see here. My next question. Question 8 is Christina B from New Mexico. I asked if the job client Robert I'm working for is going to be a secure, steady job for me for many years. Christina B. He's saying, hey Christina, as of now, according to how the energy is flowing at this moment, the answer is yes. However, keep in mind that it is your energy, it is your thoughts and your feelings who control your future. So this can be changed at any moment. He says also keep in mind that as you live life, you are in a constant state of evolution and expansion. And so that means that over time, as we evolve, as we grow and change energetically, we sometimes outgrow certain relationships, certain jobs, and then it feels like everything goes bad, everything goes south. When things become uncomfortable, then that is not a negative thing, but it is source, it is your higher self letting you know that it is time to change, that it's time to move into a new direction as you've outgrown the energies of your current situation. It just means that you're no longer aligning with the current energetic vibrations. So keep that in mind, that the future can always change. But as of now, the answer is yes. And how the future progresses is really completely up to you, up to how you feel about it, how you think about it, and how you take action in it. Okay? So I hope that helps. Okay. My next question is question 9. Laurie A. from New York. Will all my romantic relationship goals be met? Thank you, my friend Laurie. He's saying, hey, Laurie. He's saying, well. He's saying, first of all, Justin says, hey, Mom, I love you. He just wanted to get in here for a second. He's just blowing you a kiss. Okay, Eric is saying the answer is yes. As long as you stay true to yourself in the relationship and you find 100% acceptance, unconditional love, and respect for the true nature and the being of your partner, then everything will be met. All the expectations will be met. He says no. And let me give everyone some advice, he says. This is for everyone. He says, we have to always keep in mind that we're all different and unique, and trying to change another person is only based on your own insecurities and your ego. And it really goes against the free will and the personal contract of that individual. So in any relationship, respect each other by accepting each other as is, and then you will both grow closer towards one another and enhance each other's vibrations in a direction of love, in a direction of balance and peace. Okay? So as long as those boundaries are respected, then anyone can make any relationship succeed, as long as it's based on mutual respect, mutual love, and the understanding that everyone is the way they are for a reason. Okay? So I hope that helps. My next question. Number 10 is Christine L. from Utah. I was wondering if my husband and I have any other lives together. Thank you so much. You're welcome. He's saying, hello, Christine. Yes, you've had several lives together, but never as a romantic relationship before. Before this one, at least. You were in a teacher-student connection, he says, once, which has been passed on in some way or form into this life. You've also been his mother, he says, where your husband was your daughter. He's showing me this was around the Victorian times in Europe. And in this life, your daughter would constantly be fighting your authority while you were desperately holding on to control and fear-based actions. And so eventually, she released herself from your controls by marrying a man who did not fit your desires and wantings for yourself and your financial status. Therefore, experiencing losing that control and surrendering to the universe. And for both of you to eventually, over time, grow back closer towards each other. That was a very impactful life, and there are still some lessons from that journey that you've kind of carried on into this life as well. That the fact that letting go of control, just learning to go with the flow and accepting each other's decisions is something that is still being worked on today. Okay, so I hope that helps, Christine. Okay, let me see. my next question, 11, Nicolette T from New York. Hi, Eric. Can you help me to understand what's going on with my body? I am 15 years old and I have aggressive urticaria. I don't know if I said that right. She said hives. It's debilitating and I've been hospitalized several times. Takes 5 days to clear. Oh, poor you. Any help would gladly be appreciated. Love you to you all. My mom introduced Eric to me. So intrigued, Nicolette. Yeah, well, that sucks, Nicolette, but I'm pretty sure Eric will be able to help you with this on why it is happening for you. Hang in there, girl. Okay. Is that hello, Nicolette, and hello, Mama? Okay, so he says this is going to be a long answer, so this might help everyone who's going through certain similar things. She says, especially the hives. It's very common in the world right now, so hopefully this will help a lot of people. He says, but for you, Nicolette. He says, okay, let me give some explanation. So at this time, hives are considered to be an allergic reaction to foods or to chemicals, plants, or even medications. And it is thought to be a release of toxins to the surface of the body or a release of histamine from mast cells. And so what they do right now is it's being treated as an external disease with antihistamines or steroids like prednisone, for instance. But he says there is an underlying problem. When a person produces hives, it is a visible sign that the liver and the kidneys are not functioning properly. And so all medication does is it puts even more stress on the kidneys. It puts even more stress on the liver, and it causes even more high amounts of toxicity into the site that then again will express itself in another episode of hives. So it's just a vicious circle. The way they're treating it, it just keeps going around and around and around. And you're not really getting to the underlying problem. It's not really dealt with. Now, the question is, why are the liver and the kidneys not functioning properly? Well, that, he says, is a spiritual problem, is a mental problem. He says, my sweet, 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 sweet Nicolette, you're a beautiful young lady with long, gorgeous, blondish brown, wavy hair and an incredible smile, and yet you do not see the beauty that is there. You over-criticize yourself, and you have a severe lack of self-confidence and self-love. And as you are constantly fighting with your true self, your true energetic vibration, and you might ask me, well, what is my true self? Well, you are a perfect, immortal, powerful, spiritual being of love and light, but still you're constantly attacking yourself, and that attack, that stress is stored in the liver and kidneys and brings your whole physical body out of balance. Now, how can we reduce and even eliminate the hives? Well, that will have to be a combination of a dietary change and a spiritual and mental change. It needs to be both, okay? It can't be one or the other, okay? It needs to be both. So what you need to work on is self-love, change your perception of yourself, be appreciative for who you are, and be appreciative for the journey, he says, that you've chosen, and truly work on increasing the perspective of self-worth and self-respect. And then physically, it would be to have a detox diet done, okay? So we can and he says you can look this up online, detox diet. It is a diet to completely detox every organ into your in your body, and basically restoring them to factory mode, you know, to get them all healthy again. Eliminate any kind of tobacco, alcohol, fast foods, coffee, black tea, sodas, and dairy food, and really increase the intake of vitamin C. And I'm going to give you guys all some advice, and you guys are going to think I'm crazy or weird, but you need to drink dandelion and nettle tea on a daily basis. Let me explain, okay? This is not something weird, okay? Yes, we're talking about the dandelions that grow outside in the garden, and the nettles, okay? This is a very old recipe. This was used long time ago, okay? But let me explain it to you. The dandelion leaf is a good kidney tonic and can soothe kidney hives, right? And the dandelion root is very good for soothing the liver. And then the nettles, they calm down histamine reactions. So the allergic reactions that you get, they will be calmed down by the nettle tea. And so all of these, the nettles, the dandelions, all of it is so cleansing for the kidneys and for the liver. Okay, also, and you might think this is a little bit better, but small amounts of licorice will also help you with the histamine reactions, with the allergic reactions. He says, look online if you want specific recipes for your tea. Okay, that dandelion tea, you can find it. It is online. So know that for everyone who's listening who has this problem, it needs to be a combination of both the mental and the physical healing. Otherwise, if the spiritual or mental aspect is not dealt with, then even if the body is cleansed, it will keep coming back. There will always be a recurring reaction. Okay, so keep in mind that both the mental and the physical body need to be restored. Okay, so I hope that helps, and I hope that gives you guys a little bit of insight on what these hives are all about. Okay, my next question is number 12, Brooke L. from Texas. Hello, I'm Brooke from Texas. Thank you both for the healing work y'all do. I like that, y'all do. And Eric, you're so awesome, and I always feel the signs you send me. Thanks for those. I wanted to ask Eric a little bit about my love life. When will I meet the man who is to be my husband? I am pretty impatient. Thanks so much. Love, Brooke. He's saying, hey, Brooke. Yes, you're impatient, sweetie. You are only in your early 20s, so you still have much time to allow this man of your dreams to be sent to you. Now, he says, first of all, you need to work on getting out of the need vibration. I need a man to make me complete, he says. I need a man to make me feel desired. I need a man to make me feel sexy, wanted, loved, blah, 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 and so on and so on. So whenever we stay in that need energy, the universe will give you more of that need experience. So when you change that need into an I am with the man of my dreams, I am with the love of my life, I am married, well then the universe will manifest the I am with the love of my life reality. So be aware what you send out, for you will always receive just that. Okay? And be patient, Brooke. Everything one step at a time, sweetheart, he says. Okay? Okay, my next question, number 13. Let's see here. Ola S. I hope I say that right, sweetheart. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Ola S. from Dubai. What is the reason behind my weight issue? I've tried to release many emotions like guilt, shame, blame, insecurity, and so on. and I'm trying my best to eat healthy and go to the gym, but I feel something is holding me back. Any advice? Thanks, Eric. I love you, and Emma. I love you too, sweetheart. Eric says, I love you too. Well, he says, if you just listen to yourself, you say you've tried to release many emotions like guilt, shame, blame, insecurity, and that is good. However, it's not always just about releasing lower frequencies. You also need to feed your energetic body with positive energetic vibrations like self-love, self-acceptance, believe and trust in the self and in your higher self, that you are perfect in every way, just as you are now. So being in a state of perfection in the mind will manifest itself in the body as well, as your body will always follow the mind and vice versa. So also reduce your gluten and your dairy intake, as you have a sensitivity, not a gluten allergy, but a sensitivity to it. So work on sending yourself that self-love, feeding your energetic cells with high vibrations, and just be aware of the gluten and dairy intake, and you will see that the body will follow and create its perfect condition. Okay, so I hope that helps. My next question, number 14, Elisa R. from Florida. When does Eric see our finances getting better? Thank you, Elisa. He says, well, the answer is when you start living in a frequency of abundance and joy instead of living in a frequency of financial problems and a feeling of never having enough. He says, now I know that is not the answer you desire. People always want to hear what they want to hear, but the truth is only you can create the situations in your life. Only you manifest your current reality in the now. Therefore, it is impossible for me to give you all an exact date on when it will get better, because that can change every minute of every day, because it depends on the energy, on your energy that you send every day. And so as long as you put all your attention and all of your energy and all of your focus onto not having enough, then you will create a future of not having enough. So look around you. You have a wonderful family, an amazing son. You have a roof over your head, food on the table, love in your hearts. And if you can feel daily appreciation and joy for what you do have, then you will attract more abundance and joy into your life and the financial stability that you feel that you need in order to feel comfortable. So it's all about changing your perspective. It's all about being appreciative for what you have in this moment, and staying in that frequency, and then you will create positivity and positive money inflow coming to you without you even having to work at it. Okay, so I hope that helps a little bit. My next question is number 15, Terry M from Texas. A lot is going on in my life right now. I would like to know if Eric can contact my parents, spirit guides, or any other past family members for any guidance. Thank you, Emanuelle and Eric. He's saying, hey, Terry. Okay. It looks like Eric brought about 3 people with him. Let me see. There's a couple here. The names that I'm getting in is Harvey and Bobby. And they would like to say that they love you very much and are supporting you and guiding you in these times of change, is what they're saying. They're saying it is a time of spiritual awakening through the acceptance of a long past event as being truth. They're saying you have always known the truth, but never fully claimed it as your soul's path to enlightenment. The third person is a lady who calls herself Ada. I hope I say that right. And she says that you've always cared and helped people's physical bodies, and it is now time to help them spiritually and mentally. She says with all changes comes discomfort and insecurities. But the more we accept and surrender to the moments of everyday life, the more we release the fears and the doubts, and the more you will experience an inner growth, an expansion, and a connection to your own spiritual team and to the spiritual realm. So allow these transformations to happen naturally and be ready to receive clarity and balance. Okay? So I hope that helps, Terry. I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight on what's going on right now. Changes are always good, people. It might not always feel that way, but it is. Okay, the next question, number 16, Deborah K from Pennsylvania. This is a long question. Something very unique has been happening in my life in the past days, months, years, which has caused me to currently feel like I sort of just landed here. I'm 56 with 4 kids, I think it says, so that's probably out, or that I sort of died and was reborn or something. My prior experiences, memories in this life have become very vague. The future seems quite vague also. Today is fine, but somewhat uncomfortable as I seem so different from everybody and everything. Even the relationships with those I am the closest to have changed so much, and I don't mean for the better, including my children. I know I can't live in this uncomfortable skin forever, and I see no end in sight. I try so hard to ask for guidance as to what to do next, but it's like there's a thick steel door between me and my help. I know help is there. I can feel it. I just can't access it for me. Please help me, guys. I really, really, really want to do good. P.S. I'm so lucky to have you two. You both are the best. Oh, you're pretty great too, Deborah. Okay, let's see. That was a big question. He said, okay, Deborah, hello. You're going to have to really approach what I'm going to say next, he says, with a very open mind, okay? You are what we call a walk-in spirit. He says, let me try and explain what that is. A walk-in spirit is a soul exchange between 2 different souls who are using one body, one life, to fulfill their lessons on earth. And so the new soul, which is you, takes up residence in the body of a soul that walks out, who has completed its mission here on earth. And so the walk-in soul, you, agrees to complete the contract left by the walk-out soul. Rather than having a body die in order to release the soul from its incarnation, another soul just steps in and picks up where the previous soul left off. And so that's what's happening to you. And so people who go through this process, he says, will go through some kind of shift because they absorb and take over all the memories and feelings from the previous soul, but still they didn't really make them themselves. People who are walk-ins may feel like a different person from one day to the next, seem disassociated or scattered like you are, living simultaneously in 2 realities, have almost no emotions or feelings about a situation or a person. So the first step for you is understanding what is going on with you and doing some internal searching as to where and who you want to be in this new body of yours. Step 2 is understanding that we cannot change the people around us, but we can change ourselves. And then the surroundings and the relationships will automatically be adjusted according to your new vibrational frequency of being, according to your new frequency of existence. So the main thing here is love yourself. Rediscover who this new you is, regardless of the other relationships or past experiences that you have encountered or that you think you have encountered. And really go and explore a whole new you. It's going to be the only way to move on and to be able to continue the lessons that you decided to take from this body, from this lifetime, and bring these to fulfillment, bring these to completion. Okay, so I know this all sounds weird, so you're just gonna have to let it all sink in. But basically, that's what the problem is. You're a walk-in, so you came into this body as a new spirit, but you came into a body who has already made a life for itself, who's already made memories and feelings. And now it's time for you to take this body and go into a new direction, and go into a direction that fits for you, that feels right to you. Okay? So just wrap your head around that, he says. And don't forget, I am with you. I am with all of you guys. So don't be afraid to ask for my help and to ask for my comfort, okay? If you need some soothing, if you need some help, I am always there to help you guys out, okay? Okay, so the last question is Marianne A. from the UK. I am trying to become more spiritually aware. I'm struggling because I'm not sure what to do about my health and if I should carefully stop taking all the tablets I'm on. Love to you, Eric and Elisa. He says, hello, Marianne. He's saying, first of all, understand that with a spiritual awakening comes a healthier body. Because the mind affects the body in such a profound way that whatever the mental and spiritual struggles might be, they will always be expressed by the body in illnesses and aches and pains. And that could even go to depression as well. He says meditation will not only help your mind to settle down and become peaceful, but it will also reactivate the self-healing powers of the body and the mind. So meditating on a daily basis for at least 30 minutes a day is something I would recommend for you. Also increase the intake of water, as it will purify and cleanse your body and your energy from lower vibrations and from negativity. And really work on becoming mindful. Work on seeing the world around you from a new perspective. Just try and see it like this is the first time you're experiencing, you're observing your surroundings, right? So you really need to see it with a completely new view. And really approach your life with a new beginning. Get yourself out of your comfort zone and go and explore new things in the world. Surround yourself with nature and reconnect to Mother Earth. Make her your closest, bestest friends. And then you will notice that over time, you will no longer need the medications. You will feel lighter, you will feel happier, and you will feel more connected. So it's just about eliminating all the things that are blocking you and replacing them with things that can only feed you and bring oxygen to your new enlightened state of mind. Okay? Okay. Hope that helps a little bit, Marianne. That's it for this month when it comes to the Ask Eric questions. We will have a new Ask Eric video coming in December. So stay tuned for that. And for me and from Eric, we all love you very much. We all respect you and are grateful and thankful for the trust that you put in us. And we want to say to every single one of you, love yourself, take acceptance in your life, and understand that everything that occurs or that happens in your life happens for you and not to you, because you're the one creating that reality. Okay? So I love you guys. Eric says I love you, and we're gonna see each other another time. Bye.